west of the times... Look, Odd Garrett, there is a first time for everything. So I'm starting the stream late for the first time ever. My gosh. You gotta be like that? I needed the extra hour of sleep. So apologies. Shorter stream today because I needed to sleep an extra hour. Because I went into the weekend with my sleep schedule out of whack. And it's gonna be awful in a couple days when Thanksgiving hits and I have to, go to Thanksgiving dinner on, 3 hours of sleep. But hello and how are you? So I think I was still in the middle of trying to get this Phoenix Wright section done, and just before we quit, it was pointed out to me that we have an almanac. And I didn't write down the they were being so specific about dates, and that probably is the answer. So I'm gonna need to go into this again. Was the all right. Just to make sure. Was the trial right after the duel? The 19th? Haha, no. I don't know what Reno's like now, but it didn't have a proper courthouse then, and you can't try a murder charge in the sheriff's front parlor. McCready sat in jail for a couple weeks, and then they transported him to Frisco. What with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. Which happens to be my sister's birthday. So much for the right to a speedy trial. The wheels grind slow. When was the execution? Well, we held the trial by combat on the 26th, and that was a Friday. They don't execute prisoners on the weekend, so presumably it would have been the following Monday, the 29th. In the morning? What with setting up the gallows and letting a crowd gather, they usually happened in the afternoon, around 3, typically. Okay, I'm gonna do some research. So to review, to catch up here, we are trying to beat all 13 of the ghosts peacefully by resolving whatever it is that caused them to die in a way that left them with attachments to the world. This is the ghost of a lawyer who died during a trial by combat to get their client off the hook. They lost. They were shot and killed in the duel. And they believe that because they lost, their client was executed and that he was innocent. And that guilt is what's tying them to the world. We are now trying to prove her client... We tried proving him guilty, and now I think we're maybe going to prove that he did not die, that he wasn't executed. I think that's what we're going to find now when we look up the date of the execution. July 29th. That was when McCready was going to be executed. Let's see. Wow, wait a minute. According to this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day, centered right over the Western Territories with its totality at 2:47 p.m. That's a hell of a thing. Alright. I looked up July 29th in your almanac, and get this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day. What? Now you're just messing with me. No, look for yourself. Totality at 2:47 p.m. right over the Western Territories. Well, that's quite a thing, but I don't see how that affects... Wait. Unless you're suggesting... Right. It was the perfect opportunity for McCready to escape. That's absurd. Absurd like a fox. You said yourself that McCready was really good at remembering dates. He could have read about the eclipse at any time and stored that knowledge away for future use, like to give himself an advantage in a duel or something. Alright, that's reasonable as far as it goes, but MacCready couldn't have worked the eclipse into an escape plan because he didn't have any say over the court schedule. You said, what with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. MacCready could have caused any number of those delays himself by faking illness in prison or messing with the horses on the ride to Frisco or anything. Extra late in style. Yes, it's true. I was just telling Odd Garrett I needed to make sure that I got that extra hour of sleep. This could also explain the trial by combat. You mean there ended up being too much delay, so if a regular trial went on too long and he was found guilty, he'd have missed the eclipse. Exactly. Whereas if he called for a trial by combat, everything would be resolved one way or the other in only one more day. Maybe you'd win and that'd be fine, but if you lost, he could use his escape plan. I have to admit, this is pretty compelling, but it's all maybes and what-ifs. You need hard evidence, Phoenix. Maybe it happened, but maybe MacCready was rescued by leprechauns. Oh man, are there leprechauns in Frisco? You need some kind of hard evidence before this is any more than just a fun story, is what I mean. Well, let me ask you something else. What's up? How can I find evidence of MacCready's escape? Well, we don't know that an escape even happened. True. Something like that would have been in the news for certain. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Do I have a newspaper already? Or anything? I do have an infinite number of inventory items. Yeah, I don't think so. I do not think so. Why do I have a geometry textbook? You played in a Mahjong tournament this weekend. How did it go? I have been taught how to play it, but forgot. Ooh. Second place. Very impressive. The solitaire yeah, that Mahjong. Or no, what was it called in Windows 3.1? I think it was called Taipei. I don't know why they would call it Taipei if it's Mahjong. Alright. Library stuff. Do you have any old newspapers? Yes, we have a small archive of the Frisco Newsinator dating back about 20 years. They're in the stacks, so you shouldn't have trouble locating them. They're delicate, so please be careful. Okay, will do, thanks. I wonder if... Now, what if I had beaten this ghost first? That might have made the game not unwinnable, but unwinnable through non-violence. Or possibly the only way to get rid of this ghost is with something that's going to show up after I beat the Phoenix Wright ghost. You find a few bundles of old newspapers at the bottom of one shelf, the Frisco Newsinator. You start at the bottom of the stack and flip through them until you find the paper for the week of July 28th through August 3rd, 1878. The main feature has to do with the eclipse and various accidents and spectacles that occurred because most people weren't expecting it. The editor apologized for burying the announcement in the previous week's weather forecast. Most notably, all 3 men scheduled to be hanged on the 29th escaped in the confusion, and only 2 of them were recaptured. Unfortunately, their names aren't given. You don't find anything else relevant to the case. However, as you're putting the papers back on the shelf, a headline on a more recent issue catches your eye. Husband of famous inventor missing. The article is light on information, but apparently Mrs. Gunn's husband, Dan, vanished on the road while traveling to Dirtwater on business about 6 years ago. Law enforcement suspected bandits, but no evidence was found. That's kind of grim. It's Dan Staple Remover. So she's not going to accept this as evidence, the fact that 2 people got away. I mean, 3 people got away and 2 were recaptured, but we don't know if it was him or not, but we'll get the next hint here, I guess. I found a newspaper article. The guys scheduled to be executed the day of the eclipse escaped, and one of them was never caught. Which one? Well, didn't say, did it? Nope. Damn it. And executed criminals aren't given gravestones with their names on them, so you can't just go looking around Frisco Cemetery to find out. Look, Mentor, I really appreciate what you're trying to do, but at this point, you would have to actually find MacReady himself to prove he wasn't executed due to my failure. Well, I guess that's what I'll do then. Just check again. Any idea where I should start looking for MacReady? Your guess is as good as mine. I have to imagine if he got as far the heck away from Frisco as he could, though. If he's the one that escaped. Yeah, Is he in Dirtwater? Let's go to Dirtwater. So I'm just going to talk to every single person in Dirtwater until I find MacReady. Is it you? Ever heard of a fella named MacReady? MacReady? Nope, don't ring a bell. It would have been about 17 years ago? Heck, I got a long memory, but not that long. I only started working here 6 or 7 years ago anyhow. What about the guest register? We only keep those for a couple of years. Only place I know of that might have records as far back as what you need would be the post office. Okay, thanks. Hey, I need some help tracking down some missing mail. How do you mean? Oh, different quest. A mail delivery went missing on the way to Breadwood, and I'm hunting it on behalf of their mayor. The local mail station has a bunch of route maps, but I don't know which one I need. Well, that information ain't exactly secret, but I ain't supposed to just give it out either. A delivery going missing is bad news, though. Suppose it's all right just this once. Wait here a sec. After a couple of minutes, she comes back with a sheet of notepaper. Okay, so each map has a code number on it, you see, based on the region and direction of travel. She explains how to work out the code you need and gives you a cheat sheet for reference. Post cheat sheet. Thank her and don't leave, because I need to talk again. Alright. Any mail from me? Package? Is this what you get for sending the postcards? I didn't know that. I didn't get one last time. Dear bro, I thought you might be able to use this. You got an item, a portable leather workbench. Aww. This crate contains everything you need to set up your own sanctified leather working bench. All you have to do is provide elbow grease and prayer. Dear bro, I thought you... Okay, geez, you really miss that kid, and you miss your parents. You get all nostalgic just thinking about it. Nostalgia mode unlocked in options menu. And now it's all sepia, flashback looking. But I don't like it. Remember how great things used to be? Make West of Loathing look great again. I'm trying to find a guy named MacReady. There's a possibility he might have passed through here about 17 years ago. Passed through? We don't stamp passports here. Yeah. If he stayed for a while, I might have a forwarding address. Ooh, can you check, please? Alright, them books could use a dusting anyway. One sec. She pulls some big ledgers out of her desk and blows a huge cloud of dust into the air, then starts leafing through them. 17 years. Around about 78 then. 76, 77, 78. Marn, Mableston, McMurphy, MacReady. Got a Matt MacReady. That the one? That's him. No forwarding address, but you could ask at his old place, just out to the northwest of here. Let me see your map. Oh yeah, looks like you already got it here. Desert House. That's the one. Let me send a postcard. Let me also go to my room and use this workbench. Is this it? No. Inventory. Install it. Looks good. Alright, so before that, can I... Whoops. Okay, workery is already maxed out. That's good. Yeah, this is really nice and involved. I like this. Hat, pants, boots, bag, fang gloves, smoldering lassos. Out of my hat, pants, and boots, which one is the worst? Hat, pants, and boots. Speed and health. 7 muscle. 3 AP. I'll go with actually, let me first check. What's thick leather? Okay, these are just worse. That's all. You made this hat from smoldering leather, and it absolutely cannot be beat if your goal is to keep the top part of your head warm. With these pants on, you look like you sat in a campfire, and nobody will want to mess with you because they'll think you're the kind of person who just sits in a campfire and doesn't even care. Nice. Yeah, the pants were definitely a straight-up upgrade. I don't know if I... Like, with the boots, I've got so much AP, but, I mean, that's enough to beef up and then, 1, 2, 3 twice, which is crazy good. I will increase my muscle again, though. Why not? So, we're going out to the old desert house. Is he gonna be here? Or is it still a wild goose chase? M. McCready, 1846 to 1887, stuck to his guns. You dig until your shovel hits a wooden coffin and haul the lid open. The skeleton blinks at you. Well, it doesn't. But anyway, howdy? Howdy, are you Guilty McCready? Well now, ain't heard that nickname in... What year is it? 1895. 17 years. No, I tell a lie. There was that one time 8 years ago. Wait, didn't he die in... Oh, no, okay. The year he died. Okay. The same McCready that escaped the gallows during an eclipse? Well now, since the statute of limitations is expired, I might as well fess up. Yep, that was me. Real sweet plan, too. Apart from the one little hitch, it went off smooth as silk. Even worked in a little misdirection to lead the law to them other two fellas instead of me. Serves them right, too. They was real murderers, not like me. I never killed a man except in a fair fight. Except that one little hitch you mentioned? You miscalculated how long to delay the trial. So in order not to miss the eclipse, you called for a trial by combat. Oh, well, yep, that's the truth of it. You're blaming me for Miss Wainwright's death, I suppose. Why didn't you just trust her? She would have got you declared innocent. She had a real good head on her shoulders, sure, but so did that prosecutor fella. I didn't rate the odds better than 50-50. Not good enough. And anyway, the trial by combat was part of her job. She should have been ready. That stinks. She trusted you. She's a ghost now because she feels guilty about losing that trial. I've spent ages trying to convince her that you weren't innocent, and she backed you up every step of the way. Or she backed you every step of the way, despite the fact that you got her killed, and you don't even care? Hell, you bite your tongue, Sonny. You don't know me. Don't care. I did what I felt I had to do to stay alive, and I felt damn guilty about what happened with Ms. Wainwright, but I ain't taking all the blame for it, no sir. She'll tell you herself she should have been better prepared. Just like the day she told me that, apologizing with her last breath. I gave up gunfighting for her. Gave up the only thing I lived for. That's how I felt about it. You gave up gunfighting? Weren't easy, but I did. Bought this house. Bought this land. Raised some chickens. Had a little vegetable garden. Place has gone to hell since I died. That's a shame. Anyway, I never fired my pistol again. Not even at a damn fence post. That's not what it says on your grave. Oh, read it again. That's what the fella what killed me, having a little ironic joke, I reckon. Someone killed you? You're only the second person to track me down. First one was 9 years after the trial. Vic Timsbury's brother, hunting for revenge. What happened? He challenged me to a duel, and I told him I ain't doing that no more. He asked again, and I said no. And he hollered at me, so I took my pistol out of the closet and threw it at his feet so he could see how the cylinder was all rusted shut. And he cocked his gun and asked me one last time, and I said no. The last thing I remember is the bang. Jeez. Kind of him to bury me, though. Guess he weren't all that bad. Do you want to see Felicity again? I could take you to her ghost. I reckon I'll just go back to sleep. Ain't right, a dead fella walking around. Just tell her sorry for me, all right? Here, you can give her my pocket watch. She'll recognize it. McCready's pocket watch. Wow, I'm not giving that to her. Matt, guilty McCready's fancy silver pocket watch. Even after being buried for 9 years, it still chimes the hours. Bye, McCready. So long, fella. You close the coffin and fill the hole back in. Stuck to his guns. As you're riding towards your destination, you pass a building in which a barn dance is happening. I guess that makes it a barn. You pass a building in which a barn dance is happening. I guess that makes it a barn. You mosey in and have a grand old time at the barn dance. You even learn a few new moves. Most of the moves involve pretending to reel someone in from across the dance floor with a lasso, but still, they're new moves. Hey, Ever, you came for the barn dance. We are just about to solve the Phoenix Wright case. We found the guy and got the admission that he was not executed, for sure. Are you ready for this? What now? I found McCready's grave. He wasn't executed. You're 100% certain it's him, not some other man named McCready? It was him. Here, he gave me this watch to give to you. Oh, no, wait. Oh, I could keep the watch, though. I want to keep it, right? If I just say it was him. Spoke to him. He's alive? Not exactly. He's a skeleton. We talked for a while, and then he asked me to bury him again so we could go back to sleep. What did he say? He confirmed our guesses. He knew about the eclipse in advance and stalled the trial for his escape plan, but stalled it too long and decided to hedge his bet by calling the trial by combat. I see. He gave up gunfighting. He what? He bought a little house and raised chickens. Never fired his pistol again. In fact, he left it to rust. 9 years later, Timsbury's brother caught up to him and challenged him to a revenge match. McCready refused, repeatedly, so the guy shot him. He said to tell you he was sorry. She looks at you silently for a moment, then sighs and shakes her head. She smiles at you. Thank you, Mentor. You'd make a damn fine attorney. She shakes your hand and fades from view as she does so. Rest in peace, Counselor. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Shh, is the ghost still there? No, I took care of her. Oh, thank God. I've got to wash this flower off and get back to work. But first, he starts frantically scratching every part of his body. Man, feels like I've been saving up these itches for days. I was about to go crazy. Thanks, Mentor. You're a lifesaver. No problemo. Come see me at the visitor center. I'll hook you up with a souvenir photograph. Paul wanders off, still scratching. See ya. Oops. Yeah, muscle and attack melee, or outrageously rich. So how many ghosts are left? 5? 7. All 4 on the first floor. Or no, there might have been 5 initially. 1 on the second, 2 on the third. So now what? Let's go to the third floor, maybe. Nothing to do or interact with around here, other than the lamps. It's possible that the lamps are eventually going to mean something. Oh, what's the deal with this guy? I need chalk to beat him. There's a trapdoor there. I don't know what to do with that. If I can get some chalk, I can beat him. Looks like they have a music room. What kind of music do you like, Florence? Electro house. What? You won't have heard of it yet. How bohemian of you. It's a hurdy-gurdy. Bassoon. Bunch of books. Piano. Blank space. Yeah, we have fairly picked this place clean. There's very little left to do anything with. Alright, so unless I've missed something, I have interacted with everything on the third floor, and there's nothing that I can do. There's no puzzles or interactable things, unless I'm supposed to talk to Florence in one of the rooms. This one started the far right. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I'm supposed to turn the boiler back off. Could that be? You should leave them alone. Ho, 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 ho. Alright, so is everything in here? curiously empty. We did get the shower curtain here, I guess, and we probably flushed the toilet. Gallery, we're down in here. Library stuff. No delicious paste. Old newspapers we already used. Oh, I just realized we're not supposed to find an egg, we're supposed to look up the word poach. You look up poach in the dictionary. To slow cook by immersion in water, or to shoot an animal belonging to the king. See, you told that ghost in the kitchen there were two meanings. Wait, I wasn't supposed to say that. The narrator was supposed to say that. You tear the page out so you can prove it to him. Got a dictionary page, poach. This is the page that lists, a page of the dictionary that lists all the various definitions of the word poach. Leave the dictionary. Alright, have a good night, sir. I shall see you Thursday? Thursday's Thanksgiving. I still don't know if I'm going to stream or not. Where was he? He's on the first floor. Oh, this guy is so dead, and by dead I mean he's a ghost. You don't poach eggs by shooting them. I have proof. Also, ever. It's one of those nights where people go to sleep. Have a good night then. Oh yeah, well read 'em and weep, you weird old coot. What in tarnation? Poach, a method of preparing food, especially eggs, by simmering them in a boiling liquid. Well, I'll be a tad gum. He disappears into the ether, dissipates into the ether, still muttering to himself. Ha, so there. Now I can get some sauce. A little placard on this stove says, chili stove. How very specific. Use it. You need a bowl of chili to give to that ghost in the dining room, and this stove seems relevant to that need. Unfortunately, ever since your conversation with him, you're not even sure you know what chili is anymore. Maybe you should do some research. Okay. Look up chili in the dictionary? This is the most lard you've ever seen in one vessel. Lard. Larder, the ardest. Shelf is full of pots and pans, none of which are interesting to you. I see. Oh, weird. What you thought was a framed photograph is actually a window. Why does the larder have a window? And why is this ghost standing motionless in front of it as if he were a framed photograph? Excuse me? Hello? The ghost ignores you. Grab him by the shoulders and shake him. If you're not strong enough, you can't do that. You grab the ghost somehow and shake him until he rattles. Please cease this activity at once. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Now that I have your attention, how about telling me who you are? Oh, you do not recognize me? Jean-François Lardest? Nope. Zut! I knew simply mimicking the photograph would not be sufficient. Without it, how will anyone know I am the most famous Frenchman ever to visit Gone Manor? Have a lot of Frenchmen visited? Besides having the distinction of being the most famous Frenchman to visit Gone Manor, I am also the first Frenchman to visit Gone Manor, and the last as well. How'd you die? I was posing for a photograph to commemorate my visit here, and that fool of a photographer fouled up when preparing the gunpowder flash. Fouled up how? He left a bullet in it. I see. I must have this photograph. Such a face as mine must not languish in obscurity. I'll let you know if I find it. I'll let you know if I find it. Cans of every shape, size, and food you don't like. Wait a second. Eureka! These cans of string beans are exactly 1.2337 inches in diameter. They must have packed the beans lengthwise. This shelf is almost full. Or this shelf. Birthday. This shelf is almost all fancy French stuff you're afraid to eat, but there's some caviar. You've always been curious about that stuff. Grab it. Is that just a good food? It's pretty good. This caviar is so fancy you'd expect it to be gilded instead of tinned. Haha, get it? Because they're both metals. Right, so you've talked to the ghost. Do I get to blast him? I don't know that we should. He's French. French people aren't immune to science. No, I mean, it might create some kind of international incident. Damn, politics, the one thing that is immune to science. Sadly, yes. Maybe I should be talking to her more often. Wait, there's a larder and a pantry? It's gonna be all pants inside. Delightful. A rack of pants. Pants, pants, pants. Pants, pants, and more pants. Pants on a rack. One rack, many pants. Pants and pants. Hey, there's a pair your size. Fancy pantry pants. This is every passionate, patchy-pantsed pauper's fantasy. Fanciful pants from a fancy pantry. Pants, pants, and... yeah, more pants. Another rack. Another several pairs of pants. This ghost is running around like crazy, or hovering around like crazy, searching the racks of pants, or trousers if you prefer, but we say pants here in the Western Territories. He seems too preoccupied to take any notice of you. Shout at him to stop. Hey, buddy, hey! What? Jeez, buddy, you nearly scared the death out of me. Sorry, just wondering what you were doing. Well, I'd have thought it'd be obvious. I'm looking for a pair of pants, but you don't have any legs. Yes, I know. So what do you want pants for? Nostalgia? I see. How'd you lose your legs anyway? Oh, jeez, it's really embarrassing. Oh, I missed this. I'm terrible. Ever posted a link.
Your friend here. Life. I'm about to put you on real quick. Dip your frying hair. I promise you, dip it in here, it's gonna change your life. Stop being skeptical, dip it in. Taste that thing. Daddy know what he's talking about, don't he? Can I get a fry dance?
Cute. Today is Tuesday. Hello, Wolfen Face. So we finished off the Phoenix Wright case. it was way longer than I thought it would be. Like we still had a ways to go after we left off last time. But we're knocking him dead now. We're knocking the ghosts dead and then back to life again. How'd you lose your legs anyway? Oh, jeez, it's real embarrassing. I don't mind. Well, see, I didn't have a proper holster for my gun, so I was just carrying it tucked into my belt. Ooh, trigger snagged when you went to draw it, huh? Right, it gets worse though. I was wearing one of those gun belts with all the slots around for you to stick bullets in, you know? Oh man, yeah, the chain reaction blew off the lower half of me. Wow, so that's how you died? Yes, that is how I died. What kind of pants are you looking for? The kind without legs. Legless pants. Well, I can't wear regular pants, you know? The legs would just flop around and it'd be dumb. I guess you have a point. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for some legless pants for you. Thanks, I'd really appreciate it. Am I going to find any in here? I guess not. So what's with this guy? Accidentally blew his lower half off? Yep. I could just blow his upper half off to match, and we could call it a day. But what would you blow it off of? See? Not quite so simple, is it? Alright, so I should leave the manor and go to the photograph guy, right? Photographs. This is not the right spot. And then I also have to go to the basement before I forget. Thanks again for your help. What an ordeal. No problem. How's the itching? More or less better. I mean, hygiene is what it is in this day and age, you know? Souvenir photograph. Sure, I'll take one. Okay, then. Smile. You got an item. Gun Manor photo. Wait a second. This is a photograph of the house. Yep, an official Gun Manor souvenir photo. This is a souvenir photograph of Gun Manor. Looking at it reminds you of the time you visited Gun Manor and bought a photograph of it. Why'd you take a picture of me, then? Oh, it's just for our records. Yeah, okay. Sorry, only one photo per customer. I'm not sure why anybody would want two, but fair enough. You gonna sell me candy? Oh, I already saw him. Alright, so I'm not sure where we will find it. Unless the photograph, like if we look at it under a magnifying glass, if you actually see him being shot. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, and I've got stomach room for one more thing. Should I eat another thing? Oh, foods only. How's that? Alright, let's journey to the basement and make a silencer. Silenter. Basement is this way. Oh, wait. It's a box of old photos. Hey, this one is a photo of that Lardest guy. This is a photograph of the self-proclaimed most famous Frenchman to ever visit Gun Manor, Francois Lardest. Make a silenter. You drill a hole in each end of the can and carefully remove the beans. Then you soak the stuffing in a vat of acoustic dampening chemicals, that's a thing, and carefully jam it into the can. Voila! You got an item. Silenter. This is a can of stuffing designed to make it much easier for you to shoot people at Thanksgiving dinner without getting caught. Timely, yes. Now I guess I'm going to do something to the library ghost? Am I going to shoot her with a silenter? Hey, look, I invented this. Hey, look, Shh, how many times do I have to tell you? I invented this thing to make guns really quiet. Oh, how marvelous. Finally, I can rest in peace, knowing that libraries will be safe from the noise of gunfire. It is only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. Bertrand Russell. And with that, she dissipates into nothingness. He isn't famous yet. Well, whatever. Alright. We're taking out ghosts like gangbusters. Or even like Ghostbusters, you might say. 3 left on the first floor. None on the second. 2 on the third. Oh, I need to look up the definition of chili. Maybe. You look up chili in the dictionary. A savory soup made from beans, spices, and a gun. Huh. You need a bowl of chili to give that ghost in the dining. According to the dictionary, you need some spices, some beans, and a gun. Oh wait, except you're trying to make chili without a gun in it, so you have to remember to skip the gun part. Okay, keep it together, Rentor. Spices, yeah, you got that under control. Grab a chili pot and put it on a burner. Throw in the spices. You shake a heaping helping of chili spices into the pot. The next trick is beans. This little pile of chili beans you found earlier will do the trick. Toss them in. The mixture of spices and beans is bubbling merrily. Now for the final ingredient, a gun. You toss your gun into the chili. Now it's ready to... Ah, crap! You fish your gun out and start over. Dang it. No gun. You restrain yourself from adding a gun. You step back and admire your handiwork. It's not according to Hoyle chili because it doesn't have a gun in it, but it is chili with no gun in it, which is the thing you were after. You got an item. Chili sin pistoles. This bowl of chili has exactly 0 guns in it. Finally. I can't eat it. I can't eat it because there's no gun in it. This ghost is pretending to cram his face with invisible food. It's weird what people will do for the sake of politeness. I'm back, and I've got a bowl of 100% gun-free chili right here. Oh my gosh, thank you so... Oh. Is something wrong? Well, see, I can only eat ghost food. How do I... Do you need me to murder this chili for you? Not to put too fine a point on it, but yes. So because of the Ruthless perk... I guess I could go find a humane way to do it, or I could stomp the chili to death because I am ruthless. I will stomp the chili to death. No, it would be more fun to find the humane way, right? No. You put the bowl of chili on the floor and stomp it remorselessly. Eat this, chili! After a few stomps, the chili dies, and a hazy outline of the bowl coalesces in the shattered fragments and glop. You pick it up and give it to the ghost. Eat this chili. The ghost gobbles up the ghostly chili and dissipates with a long, finally satisfied sigh. Happy trails, big guy. Did I not get experience? Did that not count as, like, pacifist or whatever? I'll be really disappointed if I don't get the achievement now. Because I used violence against the chili. Thank you so much for dealing with that ghost. I am exhausted. What were you even doing? He kept demanding ghost food. Oh, okay, yeah, we already saw that. Alright, that's a snacky guy. I hope that still counts as... I mean, because nobody ever said to do it non-violently, but there's clearly an achievement for dealing with the ghosts without... Whoops, not like that. Shift tab? Yeah. Spirit Guide dealt with all 13 of the Gun Manor ghosts peacefully. I feel like it should have still counted. I don't know, because normally you get that noise and you get experience when a ghost goes away. Not you. Snacks. Deep fried holster. The greatest trick in Gun Manor marketing department was the greatest trick the Gun Manor marketing department ever pulled was figuring out how to deal with the fact that they ordered way too many holsters. Melee damage and armor by 7. It's actually great. Gunpowder turkey leg. Turkey leg that has been coated in gunpowder and then cooked nowhere near an open flame. Gun-shaped cookie. It's a sugar cookie, shaped like a gun, presumably for children. Decades hence, we will learn as a society to stop doing things like this. I'm actually going to buy that and eat it. I'm going to eat it in the face. You dip the holster in ketchup, how topical, and gnaw your way through it. Oiled and leather, gar, gar, gar. You've had an entire month's worth of oil and leather in a single meal. To be fair, the amount of leather you're supposed to eat in a month, the amount of leather you're supposed to eat in a month of pretty small, I think that should be is pretty small. Alright, back to Lardest to give him his photo. Do. I found an old photo. Yeah, we didn't get this little... I found an old photo that actually looks like you. Here. Ah, marvelous. What a resemblance. Yeah, it's a pretty decent pic. Good thing light travels faster than bullets. Now, my image will not be lost to the ravages of time. Merci beaucoup, my friend. He hangs the photo in the window and dissipates into nothingness. Auf Wiedersehen. Oh, shit.